What's up, everybody? You guys ready for another, week of school and work and all that? Well, I am here to talk about how other people's feelings actually do matter, contrary to popular belief. So other people's feelings matter because those of us that actually do have a kind, caring, and sensitive heart feel deeply, whether we want to or not, and there's no change in that. However, you can change your anger, you can change your, your alcohol use, your drug use, how you see the world. Really, those of us that do care and are sensitive and empathetic, we just want to feel loved, appreciated, valued, and accepted. Because love is really all about accepting you for who you are. So that doesn't make us childish for wanting to feel those things. It's who we are. Especially we want to feel those things by the ones who claim to care about us and love us and care about our well-being. So for me, it's always going to be about how you treat me that matters the most, rather than what you can do for me. How you treat me is going to matter the most to me versus anything that has to do with money or materialistic things. No. So anyway, if you don't care about other people's feelings and how you affect them, then you don't really care. And in turn, it can cause somebody to feel unloved and unwanted. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. And I don't understand why people feel like we're crazy or that we're the ones who need help because all we want to do is feel a certain type of way. And it can cause depression and therefore causing them to want to commit suicide or even actually do it because they don't feel loved, appreciated, or valued enough. Because you guys aren't showing them. You guys aren't, expressing it enough. You guys aren't working on yourselves, instead of pointing the blame at them like, oh, they're the ones who need help. Why? Because we actually care, unlike most people in this world? Like that, it's funny because a lot of those people also say that they want somebody who cares, or they don't care enough because they weren't loved enough, or they were abused when they were little, or they didn't grow up with a proper family. Okay, fine. Then keep the ones who actually do care in your life and keep them close because it's very rare. Even if you don't find them attractive enough or whatever, keep them as a friend. Because one of these days you may find yourself meeting somebody like that who really just wants to be there to comfort you. You don't want money, you don't want sex, you don't want anything like that. Here's a question for people. Take away sex. Then what do most people have to offer after that? Think about it. In my case, I've had people who couldn't even offer that. So, and I still care about them, It's like, I didn't look down on them for it. So anyway, there's nothing wrong with us from wanting to feel what we try to help others feel, which is love, cared for, accepted, understood, heard, seen. Nothing wrong with it. Just because you may not have ever felt those things, because you don't want to feel those things, doesn't mean that other people don't. Sadly, a lot of people I have cared about and loved and still do overuse alcohol, overuse drugs, and in turn usually turns them hateful or angry, causes them not to think straight or not to even feel anything. And that's why a lot of people go to alcohol and drugs, because they want to avoid their feelings that they say the rest of us are crazy for having. But yet they're alcoholics, so they're alcoholics because they want to avoid those feelings, usually. So, or in turn, they have their own anger issues and are dealing with it. And instead of taking care of their anger issues, they're telling others they need to work on themselves and taking their anger out on other people by hurting them because they've been hurt in the past, or, they've been abused in the past. Okay, well, we've all been through something. But do you see all of us taking our hurt and anger out on you? Treating others the way you want to be treated, and then stop overlooking those who are treating those the way we want to be treated. And instead of seeking therapy or getting the help, again, they put the blame on us, telling us we're the ones that are crazy. So, and they don't take accountability for themselves, but yet tell us that we need to take accountability for ourselves, even though we already do. So anyway, people choose anger over sadness and choose to keep things bottled up because they feel that they actually cry or, talk things out, it's going to make them weak. When in turn, as you can see, at least for me, talking about it, not using alcohol or drugs, do I seem sad to you anymore? No, I'm here to help people now. I'm actually using my hurt, and my past issues to try to help people, and my experiences to try to help people better themselves. If you choose to listen to me, cool. If not, then I guess that's on you, not me. So, in reality, anger and holding your own issues in isn't healthy for anybody either, especially yourself. You're the one who's living with it. You're the one who's sitting in a dark room, blaring your music all alone, because you don't want to process your feelings because you feel like you're weak, especially men. Especially men. And think about it. Anger can cause worse crimes. Whether it be driving drunk because you're an alcoholic, because you choose alcohol over therapy and getting the help you need. So you choose to drive drunk. Or murder, or vengeful thinking, or bullying in schools, or bullying outside of schools. Shootings, school shootings, public shootings, and even wars. Even wars. Anger is a feeling too, whether you guys like to look at it like that or not, but it's a feeling. Anger, sadness, hurt, love, neck pain, shoulder pain, back pain, headaches, stomach aches. It's all feelings, guys. It's all feelings. And instead, it just turns people more hateful and careless. That's what anger does. Because, they weren't loved enough, or they weren't shown love enough. And then they want people like us, like me, who, do show love and care, but yet then turn around and use us and abuse us and hurt us even more, thinking that we'll break and turn into them. No, that's just not right. It's not right. Anyway, other people's feelings also matter because it can help others gain more confidence in themselves. When you feel more encouraged. Think about it. You popular people who have people around you all the time, you got a support group. You know what it's like to have people encourage you and to tell you, oh yeah, so proud of you, this, that, and the other. But then people like me who are unpopular, don't really care to be around a whole bunch of crowds, don't have a whole lot of friends, we're pretty much alone. So it's hard for us to build ourselves up when we don't have any encouragement or support system, or, somebody who can tell you they're proud of you. So it's harder for us to build ourselves up because we don't have that kind of support like you guys do. But here's another question for you, to all you popular people. What happens if you were to lose your house, lose your job, lose your looks, do you really think the people that you claim as your friends right now are your real friends? Will they actually be there to support you when you go downhill, when you lose your house, when anything can happen? Just think about that. It can help us with a social connection, building empathy with each other, help you with guidance for your own actions by helping you get to the point of putting yourself in other people's shoes. Basically, again, treating others the way you want to be treated. So put yourself in that person's shoes and then be like, oh, how would I feel if this was done to me? Such as homeless people, for instance. A lot of people give them a hard time. I understand there's a whole lot of scammers out there, and you don't know who's real, who's not. I get that. But even then, you see somebody on the street, don't poke fun of them. Don't tell them they're a nuisance. You never know what they've been through. They could have lost their entire family that day and ended up out on the street because their family died, or because their family had a falling out, or because they've lost their house, or whatever. You never know what people have gone through to end up in that position. Or they could have gotten, an unexpected layoff at their job and can't pay for their house anymore, and have a hard time finding another job because they were at that job for so long. And, jobs are hard to find anymore. Trust me, I know. I'm going through it myself. They want you to have all this experience, or, Indeed sucks with trying to find jobs. Half of those applications are out of date. I learned that the hard way. Called a job in that I applied for, and they were like, oh, we're actually not hiring. Then why is your application on Indeed? And then some of us are horrible at taking tests, like paper tests. So like when it comes to assessments for Walmart or Kroger and all of that, now they have these paper assessments that you have to take to show what your level of knowing retail is and customer services and all that. And the sad part is I've had 3 years of experience at Walmart, but it's been years ago, and we didn't have to take an assessment then, but now you do, and I failed them. And I've always been horrible with test taking, high school on up. So it's not easy. But anyway, so put yourself in other people's shoes. You just never know what people have gone through. It can also help you with building trust with people. We all talk about how we don't trust people, or they don't trust me, or you don't trust me. Well, start showing them reasons why they should trust you then. It can help them with learning to deal with conflict resolution better. Fixing relationships with people they supposedly care about, supposedly love. Emotional contagion, feeling other people's feelings. Empathy, help motivate, engage, and it also improves communication. So as you can see, we were put here to help build each other up, not keep putting each other down because of our past issues. I have past issues too, but do you see me out there calling people names, or trying to physically hurt somebody, or even mentally hurt somebody? No, I'm here trying to teach you guys. I'm using my experience to teach you guys. So people's feelings do matter. Again, contrary to popular belief. It's just stop taking everything out on everybody else. Because eventually, yes, people will stop caring because of that. You don't care about them, so why should they care about you? People are going to start treating you the way you treat them. So those of us that do care, we actually get tired too. We all have our limits. But again, I'm here teaching you. Hopefully. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy your week. My next topic will be about drug and alcohol abuse and how it can affect you and others around you. Thank you.